Just retained.
Oh, you're retained on this?
Yes, the state
Well,
please.
I hate to see you retained on this, you're, Kaylee. What's she doing? Your name, ma'am?
Sheriff, or
She hasn't shown up here in how long? What's she gonna do? Is she going to plead on these?
Yes, but
You know, I'm not gonna be nice about this, right?
I understand, but
You plead guilty here, you absconded, you could get 93 days with credit for any time served, right?
This isn't just another routine court hearing. This is a case where confusion, old records, and high-stakes decisions collide in real time. A defendant walks in expecting one outcome, only for the court to suddenly realize they're looking at the wrong case entirely. But that mistake could have cost her everything: her freedom, her future, and possibly months behind bars. As the judge scrambles to correct the record, the tension rises. Will this error work in her favor or make things even worse? And when the truth finally comes out, the consequences hit hard. Stay with us, because this courtroom moment takes a turn you won't see coming.
Did you sign an advice or rights form here today? Do you read it and understand it?
yeah,
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. And there will not be a hearing. Do you understand that?
yes,
I'm gonna need somebody in here, Sadie, from probation. All right. So I'm gonna ask you how you plead as to each one of these counts. If the count one that you failed to attend your scheduled visit on January 21 of 15, how do you plead? You failed to attend your visit on that day?
yeah,
Is the count two that you failed to attend the victim's impact panel? How do you plead?
guilty,
You failed to attend the victim's impact panel.
yes,
Count three that you failed to submit the chemical testing as ordered on November 20 of 14. How do you plead?
guilty,
Did you fail to submit the testing on that day?
yes,
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
no,
Wait a minute, something's wrong here.
They're kind of backed up in probation.
This is the wrong show cause.
what?
Looks like she was just in front of Judge Hessen, right?
Yeah, it was pretty lean.
Yeah, I know, but there was a different show cause. It looks like the one Judge Hessen arraigned around. Maybe if you'll just give me a second here. I already adjudicated this show cause, it looks like. Now, this is the show cause. I made a mistake. They made the mistake, actually. They put the blue back from, this is what happens when cases become so old, for January 21 of 15. And as I look at it, I already adjudicated this case. The show cause she's here for are set forth in the show cause dated April 24th of 15. April 24th of 15.
What was showing?
Count one is she failed to attend the court work program on March 21 of 15. Count two, she failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs testing positive on March 16 of 15. That's count two. And it looks like that's it. Those two counts. So I'm gonna have to ask her how she pleads on them. My apologies. If you plead on those, ma'am, I want you to understand, you could get 93 days since you've absconded. You understand that?
yeah,
You understand all your rights.
yeah,
You understand you have two counts here, and that is count one, failure to attend the court work program on March the 21 of 15. How do you plead to that?
guilty,
Count two, you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs testing positive for cocaine. How do you plead?
guilty,
Did you test positive for cocaine on March 16 of 15?
yes,
Did you miss the court work program on March 21 of 15?
yes,
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
no,
Ms. Wild, your name?
Elizabeth Wise, probation.
I don't know what happened here. They gave me the wrong blue back. They gave me one from January 21 of 15. I already,
One that I have in the file too, Judge.
that's wrong.
Okay.
I already adjudicated that. And if you look on the back of this, I sentenced her actually on that on February 18 of 25, and I was pretty kind to her, but then this is one dated April 24th of 15. All right, so I'm gonna let Mr. Cayley here tell me whatever he'd like to say.
Your Honor, Ms. Smith knows that she, absconded. She's had several tragedies in her life by way of explanation on excuse. Her daughter died a few years ago. She's been raising all three kids. Her husband died less than a year ago. She was working, she got hurt. She went back to work, she got hurt again. So she hasn't been working, she hasn't been driving. The last time she's had any adjudications with respect to any contact was in 2018, I believe she had an offense. Judge, she suffers from anxiety. Back then, I believe that was an OWI due to marijuana. She tested positive, obviously. She didn't complete the courtroom program. She posted a bond and the amount of the total fines and costs because she wasn't working, trying to raise these kids. And she got back from disability. She worked again, got hurt again, and she's applied for Social Security disability and workers' comp as well, Judge.
Can you figure out for me how many days she has credit coming?
I am not seeing any credit, Your Honor. I'm not seeing any proof of community service in an effort to give her credit. I am not seeing attendance on the court work program. I believe she was already given a day of credit by you for perhaps being in custody by the police at the time of her arrest. But I cannot offer any credit. The only positive I can offer in relation to her case is she attended the victims impact panel. That was it. Everything else she did not attend or she absconded from.
But she posted 1,020, right?
Yes, sir.
How much are we showing that she owes right now, Heather? Can you tell me?
She has a balance of 1,020.
Let me take a look at her record. So she had a larceny in 04. 19 was some kind of retail fraud, attempt retail fraud. 14 was impaired. I wish you would have come and talked to me, you know that? You can't do this. Do you have any other thoughts you want to have?
I don't, Your Honor. It's a 2010 case. Obviously,
Well, I'm
we
not
dealt
gonna-
with years later, and we're past the 2 years for probation. Obviously, I leave it up to the discretion of the court.
Anything else you want to say, ma'am?
I'm sorry. No, with everything going on, my husband kind of took care of everything. I looked at everything my husband said. As soon as he passed away in September, and, you know, I
He was sick for several years.
yeah, I was taking care of him and it's just, and I didn't drive, you know.
I just can't condone this, but I'll give you credit that you haven't been in any more trouble. Probation's revoked. You're to pay costs of 1,020 and serve 93 days. Credit 1 to 92. If you pay costs of 1,020, I'll suspend 65 of the 92, and you'll only have to serve 27. That's the best I'm going to do. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. So sign over your bond. I'm sorry you're in custody, ma'am. Good luck. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Gale.
Thank God.
People against Schaefer. John James Schaefer's 26B149988. And I was just kind of thrown there. I was going to ask the kid to state her name.
Daniel.
Daniel,
You say hi, I'm Daniel. I'm 3 years old.
how's it going?
Say hi.
How you doing?
Mr. Kaylee gave him money. For
You want to come up here and put this on and make these decisions
he
here?
was so nice. He gave him $2, and he was like, "Mom, come on, got some M&Ms up the bench."
right.
And he's showing you your M&Ms.
We're gonna adjourn this. Why don't we go into Mr. Gate? Your name?
The parties recommend and get prepared to have you regard.
I wouldn't mind
Are
if you
you ready?
put this off to the next docket either.
This
Keep
is for
this-
Brownstown. Sorry,
Yeah,
Judge,
so
you need a
we
date
can
for
do-
this, for Brownstown. We
Yeah.
could either do that, 8th date or the 16th.
Let's do the 8th at 9:15. How's that?
Okay.
You come back on that date, okay? Thank you very much. You can go down the hall, get your notice, and you're all set. Nancy Radke, Nancy Elizabeth Radke, 24B, 145, 414, A, B, and C.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Peter Granada, P 7413. I'm IDC counsel for Ms. Reddick.
Name, ma'am?
Nancy Elizabeth Sowers Radke.
Your Honor, I had a long discussion with Ms. Radke about her case, and she asked me to ask for an adjournment so that she can retain counsel. She has a meeting with the VA. She's a veteran, and she has a meeting with the VA on Thursday, the 23rd, where she can sign up for the counsel. And so I'm asking the court if we can consider an adjournment to May 7th. That will give her enough time, because this is a rather complicated case. It's not just the charge in front of you, but it also includes a civil case that was filed against her, that there's either a countersuit or another action against the person that's suing her. It's something that needs, and that she wants to retain counsel for. But for today's purposes, she would stand mute, waive formal reading, and stand mute to the charge.
Case has been going on since 2023.
I understand, Your Honor, but she came in today on her own recognizance. She lives in Ohio. She hasn't had a Michigan driver's license for over a decade, and it's a very complicated case.
Well, we had her living on 3rd Street.
That was where I was working on
Now, how long have you been living in Ohio?
Since 2015.
So about 10, a little over 10.
You gotta take your hat off, sir. I'll give her a pretrial. I want her not guilty plea.
Thank you, Judge. Could you withdraw the warrants? I believe.
Yeah, we always do that. Heather, we're gonna schedule files B and C, and this other one, the A file. And she's got things in Novi and 18 and 23. I'm just. All right, I'm giving a new date here, Heather. What are we gonna do?
You want to do the 8th or the 16th? Because this is a Brown.
April 16th
We
at
could do- Go ahead, Judge.
9:30, ma'am. And you owe 2 civil infractions here too. Let me check something here.
Your Honor, could we have a little more time? Because she has to meet with the VA on the 23rd. She won't even begin the process of retaining counsel until the 23rd of March.
She's had 4 years, 3 years. Right?
I was in a coma. I was in the hospital.
The accident that resulted in the DWLS was pretty serious.
And the ticket was 6 months after that.
After what?
After
She was cited after the accident. Cited.
6 months after that. So I didn't even know about it.
I know, but I wrote you back in, I wrote you back on September 18 of 23. You must have written me a letter here.
Correct was September 23rd of 23.
Oh, that,
Right.
well, I cited these case numbers. I don't know how, maybe there was a typo. There had to be a typo. So it had to be September 18 of 24. You must have written me a letter,
I did.
and I said, be advised the bench warrant on the drive-all license suspended, revoked, denied charge was issued on March 14 of 24. The bench warrants were issued on the careless driving and no insurance charges on June 24, 24. Immediately surrender yourself to this court for arraignment on the warrants. And you didn't do that.
Yeah. What I sent you was a copy of my Ohio license and my Ohio insurance on the front. And then I never heard anything, and I asked for a court date, and I never got one.
I don't know what you're saying. I really don't. You're sending, these cease and desist garbage, and don't send that nonsense here, okay, please? You can send it to don't send that nonsense to us. You got it?
Yes.
Good. I'm gonna give her 2 more weeks, Heather. That's it, though. April 30, are we doing?
We do not have Brownstown there. Judge Heston has Brownstown on the 29th.
Well, when is the next court, the latest court date I have in April?
In April is the 22nd.
When is the first date I have in May?
May 6th.
May 6th. Don't ask me for another adjournment.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
May 6th at 9:30.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So you have to go down to the hall, ma'am, and get your notice, okay? Where's the other one? Yeah, Michael Jeffrey Teets. 26F2640001A. B. Where's Michael Teets?
I'm right here, sir.
Come on up. What are we doing on this one?
We are, we have a plea agreement, dismiss assault, and plead to disorder.
Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, sir.
So if you plead to disorderly person, public intox, possible penalties are up. Is that what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
Up to 500 fines, 90 days jail costs or all those. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And then I'll dismiss the assault. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving all those rights, and we're not going to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
See, you guys got to have them sign these, though, if you can, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you're presumed innocent, they have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by court or jury. You plead guilty, you're giving up your right to a trial. You're giving up your right to question their witnesses. You're waiving the presumption of innocence. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
To the charge disorderly person, public intox, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Were you in the city of Flat Rock, County of Wayne on March the 2nd of 26?
Yes, sir.
And were you at 26100 Breland in Flat Rock?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do? Were you threatening employees at the Myers store in Flat Rock?
No, sir.
Were you intoxicated?
Slightly.
Well, what did you do? Tell me what you did that makes you guilty of public intoxication.
Well, I had more than 3 drinks.
I don't care. You could have 49 if you want. If you're not harassing anybody and you're not doing anything, it's not illegal to drink. It's not illegal to drink. It's just illegal to drink and drive. So what did you do wrong? This says you were inside the Flat Rock Mire, stumbling around while slurring your speech, unable to stand on your own without using the wall for balance, and that the officers could smell intoxicants. Is that true or false?
Sir.
I want you to tell me it's true if it's not true. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Were you drunk?
Yes, sir.
Were you stumbling?
Yes, sir.
Were you having to use the wall to maintain your balance?
Yes, sir.
Were you screaming at patrons? Threatening employees, I should say.
That one employee.
What did you say?
He approached me plain clothes and he was within 2 feet. And I asked him, I was like, well, who the hell are you?
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Please accept it to that charge. The assault's dismissed. I'm going to refer you for a screening and assessment. Again, the assault dismissed on motion of the prosecutor. Transfer the bond from the assault case over to the disorderly case, please. And Heather, and then I'm going to order a screening and assessment. I'm going to give you a sentence date, okay? No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. You realize that, right?
Yes, sir.
You cannot leave the state without consent. You can't violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. Do you understand all that?
Yes, sir.
You've been going twice a week to AA?
Yes, sir.
Let's see it. Let me see it.
I didn't bring it.
Why not?
I wasn't aware of
I
it.
told you you had to bring it here every time. No contact with Jeremy Rose, no, or employees of Flat Rock,
No, sir.
not to enter 26100 Vreeland Flat Rock. Why didn't you bring your AA attendance? I feel like revoking your bond.
I've never been into this before. There was a mistake on my end. I do realize that.
You've had it signed though, right? Good. Bring it back to probation this afternoon and show them. Don't make a copy here, okay? We'll give you a sentence date of April the
This one will be April 2nd, Judge, at 8:30.
at 8:30.
Your Honor, could we make it on a day that I'm here? I believe I'm before you every Thursday.
We could do the 16th, right?
April 2nd is a Thursday. Are you not here on that day? Mr. Granada? I can look at the calendar.
Yeah,
I have a
I'm
April
sorry, I know
calendar.
on the 16th on the 2nd.
Well, then let's do the 16th.
Okay,
Thank
At 8:30. Okay? Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, good luck. Thanks.
Pardon my ignorance on the paper.
All right, just bring it back though, okay? Thank you.
you.
Johnson.
Good morning, Judge. Matthew Gate, Ambassador Security State Full Name.
Robert Earl Pearson.
Wow. This has been a long day. All right. I didn't like this at all. Defendant pled guilty to trespassing under section 771.1. He was referred for a pre-sentence report. Anything you'd like to, is everything in the report accurate?
Yes, we have no omissions, corrections, or deletions for this statutory act.
Anything that you would like to say?
Just that, Mr. Puritan Judge is 21 years old. He does have 2 children who he's financially responsible for and that live with him. One is a 1-year-old and he does have a 2-week-old child, Judge. He is currently full-time employed as a machine operator at Quicksilver Manufacturing. He's had that job for the last week. And he does report that he is currently full-time employed. Is that correct, sir? Judge, I've reviewed, I wasn't the original attorney on this case. I did review some of the background on this. Mr. Puritan does realize that it's not something you should be doing in the pleasant fairness.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were gonna be thieves. Right?
Sorry.
This wasn't just a trespass case. You guys were cutting fences open so you go in and steal.
I wasn't honestly trying to wrong with the people I was hanging with.
I can't hear you.
I wasn't trying to wrong with the people I was hanging with. They got me in a situation, but that was almost 4 years ago. I learned. I went through a lot of things, and I was better in my life.
10 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation immediately. You have to report as directed. You're not to enter or go near 20260 King Road at the auto port in Brownstown. You're not to have any contact with employees of the auto port. You're to attend the impulsive behavior program through Class A. You're going to serve training center. You're going to serve 1 day on the court work program, $35 charge for that, 2 days of community service, which has to be completed by May the 15th. You're also to pay fines of $100, costs of $150, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So fines and costs are $375. Probation fees are $200 for 575. Screening fees $60 for 635. Your total $670, including the court work program fees. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 90 days. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. I am taking this under section 771.1 as agreed upon. We're going to give him a review hearing date, which should be somewhere in the early part of September. And can he pay all these fines today? How much can you pay weekly?
Weekly, like 75.
Okay. If you don't have the money on any time, no problem. Don't get worried. Just call the court. You and I can go on Zoom, or you can walk in here on or before the due date. Be glad to give you an extension. 75 a week beginning April the 6th of 26. Again, if you don't have the money, just contact us. I'll give you an extension. You'll meet with probation before you leave. Any questions?
Sorry.
All right. I wish you well. Good luck. I'm not excited
Don't you
about
need the
that.
review date?
Oh, I'm sorry. What time's the review hearing?
We could do that. You want early September? We could do September 9th.
Next September 9th will be your review hearing date. Hopefully you'll have done everything. That'll be at 8:30 in the morning, and then you'll do everything and you'll come back on that date and the prosecutor will move to dismiss, okay? Best of luck. Benson, Nicholas Allen Benson, 25B1478001A and B.
And just like that, the final decision is handed down. And it's a tough one. Probation revoked, a financial penalty of over $1,000, and a 93-day jail sentence, though partially reduced if payment is made. The judge did acknowledge that she stayed out of trouble for years, but ultimately the repeated failures to comply with court-ordered programs carried more weight. This case is a powerful reminder of how quickly things can escalate when obligations are ignored, even years later. It also shows how critical it is to stay engaged with the legal process, no matter how difficult life gets. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think the judge made the right call here? Or should more leniency have been given considering her circumstances? If you found this case as intense and eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Plus, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.